This is Wisconsin Valley Conference Wrestling action. We're here at the Lincoln Fieldhouse Thursday night, and it will be the Merrill Blue Jays against your Lincoln High School Red Raiders. Just had a nice presentation of all the youth wrestlers. Just gave out some awards. Gave Bill Winch from Vesper a wonderful plaque. Bill has been coaching the grade youth out in Vesper for 48 years, so we thank him very much. Louis Bennett will be here shortly to lead us through, so sit tight and get ready for the best in wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wrestling meet at Lincoln High School Fieldhouse between the Merrill Blue Jays and the Rapids Red Raiders. We just listened to the national anthem from our pep band, and we're going to listen to the introductions from announcer Scott Tesh. Well, there you have the introductions, folks. This is Louis Bennett. I'm up here with Craig Tim running the camera, and we're going to bring you Matt Side, public access from the Lincoln High School Fieldhouse, the last home dual meet in the Fieldhouse. This doesn't seem possible that the season has gone by so quickly, but we're here. The Raiders have improved a lot as the times went on here. We are 3-1 in the Valley. Marshfield leads the Valley with a 4-0 record. DC Everest is 3-1, and we will meet them next week. Wausau West is 3-2. Merrill is 1-3. Point is 0-3. Wausau East is 0-4. The Raiders are 3-1, and we've improved, I think, a great deal as time has went on. I'm going to let the mic on to listen to the Lincoln High School pep band. Okay, I guess we're going to wrestle before the pep band even was done. Kind of surprised all of us here, but this is A.J. Schutz and Bradley Lyskow. The Lyskows have a history of clan up there. My years of coaching, we wrestled a lot of Lyskows, and I see Grandpa Lyskows here. Now, A.J. got caught up here in what we call a barbed wire. It's not good. Oh, boy. That was not a good way to start the night off. So Bradley Lyskow gets a pin, puts the Blue Jays up 6-0. There are a couple of forfeits tonight. The Raiders are forfeiting at 220 and at heavyweight, and Merrill is forfeiting at 113. It's kind of interesting. These two programs are kind of like state-of-the-art programs in Wisconsin, and we're in a little bit of a regrowth cycle here. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We had Roger Fuller. Yeah, okay. So here we are then at 182. Roger Fuller, a junior for the Raiders, and Jake Spohr, a senior for the Blue Jays. It's our youth night tonight, and we had a little bit of a promo going on. We introduced all of our youth wrestlers, or the ones that were here, and the coaches, and we got quite a slew of second-generation coaches, young dads. Been really happy with how our youth program has been developing. And then our middle school, they're all former wrestlers here. We introduced all those, and then we had an award for Bill Winch, who's coached the Vesper program for years. And the Vesper school is closing, and Bill is kind of wrapping up his volunteer coaching duties. So we gave him a little award, and it was pretty nice. I'm glad to be part of it and help do this. So Roger's got a bar across the back here. He's wrestling pretty good. Roger's improved lately. We thought he was going to be pretty good, and then he was kind of a little flat spot here early in the season, and now as of late he's wrestling real good. So Fuller's leading 2-0 with 30 seconds left in the first period. We got our new mat out here for the second time. We broke it in a few weeks ago when we wrestled Marshfield, and we. Most of you are aware that we built a new wrestling room, and it's a ways over here now. So we bought this mat. The mat backers bought it actually, and it's going to be stored out here in the field house. We don't have to haul it back and forth. So it's a little different. It's black with red trim. Fuller come up to his feet pretty good. Got into a stand-up, hit a switch, and that was nice. He got him stretched out here a little bit. He's going to cut him loose. He's going to give him one. I guess that's what the coaches told him to do. So Fuller's up 4-1, and the Blue Jays lead the dual meet 6-0 on a pin at 170 pounds. Oh, pinch headlock right to the back. Well, he's in pretty good shape here. If Terry Stake was here, he'd say that the Merrill Blue Jay is looking at the beams. But he's not here. Stay tight here. Have some patience, Roger. As long as he stays big and doesn't get rolled off, he wants to crank that head up to get his head off the mat. Your head's off the mat. It's pretty hard to keep your shoulders off the mat. This is pretty tough. So Roger Fuller gets a pin in 44 seconds of the second period. So that knotted the score up at 6. And we kind of needed that because we're going to fall behind here a little bit with those forfeits coming up. So it's with if you read the paper the last couple of days, there's been quite an issue about forfeits in the world of wrestling in Wisconsin and the nation really, and the forfeits isn't something anybody wants. But this was a deal here. Evidently, the coaches felt that our better matchup was to put Lane up at 220 rather than 195. So we'll see. It's a lot of strategy, a lot of chess playing going on, but Merrill is leading 12-6 here now. And again, coaches felt that Lane was a better match at 220, even though he's not 220, than he was at 195. And this was a change here for Merrill at 220. The wrestler is Walker Bothke. He's a sophomore. And Lane Collada is a junior. Uh-oh. And we got a 2-point takedown and a near fall. And that's changed this year on the out of bounds. He scored those back points. 2 near fall, out of bounds. Now, years ago, you couldn't do that. If you were out of bounds, you were out of bounds. The new rules this year simply means that if supporting points are inbounds, you can score points. You could actually pin him out there. So we got a little break here. Lane's got a little nosebleed, and for most of you people that are listening, you know there's blood time. If you get some blood, you got 5 minutes to get it cleaned up. So we're back here ready to go. Merrill is down. Colada is up. We got 1:11 seconds left in the second period. Escape point for Merrill. Lane is, even though he's a junior, he's pretty inexperienced. He started wrestling last year. And well, he countered that fireman's pretty good, and that's good to see, because in the past, he countered the fireman's and came around with a near side headlock and got into a cradle and got the takedown. So he's got to stay under the arms here. That's what happens when you go over the top of the arms, you get too high. And he was fortunate there. He got side rolled right to his back, but they were out of bounds. Six to 1, Colada. At the end of the first period. So Colada chooses down at the start of the second period, which is pretty common. And he's in pretty good shape here. Colada's got kind of like a crab right on. If we're fortunate, we're going to come out the back door, which we did. And that was... He took him right to his back, and that was good to see. I think Merrill has a lot of inexperienced kids here, too. This is pretty tight. Stay in here, Lane. We got a lot of time. We got 1:20 seconds left here. Whoa, get the other leg in here, Lane. Don't get so high, buddy. Colada picked up back points, and now he's got more back points. And probably going to get 3 there. He's scoring a lot of points. He gets pretty high. He gets in, from this coach's perspective, a pretty precarious position. But that's something you got to learn. You know, you learn that as you go, and sometimes it don't work out too good, and sometimes it does. Oh, he got side rolled right to his back, and that's what I was telling you. When you ride up there high like that, that's the danger of that. And he got out of there. But you really shouldn't be getting in there. So lessons to be learned. So they switched reversals, and the score now is 16-3. Colada. And we're hanging over the top again here, trying to get a cradle in not very good position. If you stay under the arms, you're pretty safe. 1:20 left in the third period, and Colada's leading 16-3. The team score is 12-6. Merrill. There, now he learned from that roll the first time. This time he stepped over there and threw a half Nelson. And again, that's all learning, and now we get the fall. So a pin for Lane Colada, which knots up the score at 12-12. And good for Lane. He hasn't had a whole lot of success, so that's a feather in our cap here. And we're not going to wrestle heavyweight. I know that the announcer introduced it, but that isn't. They never planned on using him. Again, it's a matter of philosophy. Bowling from Merrill is ranked like 3rd or 4th in the state, and you hate to do that. I don't like it neither, but Mike Iverson we got out about 2 weeks ago, and he's going to be fine. But to put him out there and to get beat up in front of the home crowd probably isn't the answer, and so we just elected to forfeit. So now the score is 18-12, Merrill. And we've got Damian Bennett at 106. He's a 9th grader against Trevor Schenzel of Merrill, who's also a 9th grader. And I'm sure these two have met coming up through the ranks here with the middle school and club wrestling. Nice takedown and a release here. Damian Bennett's finally starting to get aggressive. He wasn't before. Now they want him to wrestle on his feet, so got a nice cut through there. Bennett is ahead 4-2. Six-two on the scoreboard here with Damian Bennett leading. Stalemate. Good official here. I know, but I don't know his name. It's Bill Coker from somewhere up north. He's reffed here quite a bit. He's a good official. One of the other things that if you read at all about sports and high school athletics is there's a real shortage of officials. In wrestling and all sports, really. Our officiating crew in Wisconsin is getting older, and it's hard to get young guys started. So Damian Bennett's up 6-2, choosing down at the start of the second period. Nice stand up. Got his hips free. Now he's stretching out Schmezel. And that's the name of the game here. You get the angles. He's in good position. Now you have to have a little patience. A little patience now, a little perseverance, I guess you'd call it. and he got a reversal out of it. Nice snap down. It's good to see Damian starting to open up. That was our concern early in the season. He wrestled way too conservative. Part of that probably is just being a ninth grader. Damian Bennett's got a 10-4 lead. He's going to score a takedown here. So 12-4. Quite a storied tradition here between these two teams. Many times we wrestled, we were ranked 1 and 2 in the state. And in most cases, we were fortunate enough to come out of the top end of that. But there were some huge crowds used to follow these two teams. And Merrill has kind of fallen off a little bit. And we have too, except we're coming back pretty strong. If we can hold things together now, we'll be better the next few years. We've got a lot of young kids here. Our middle school is in good shape. Anxious to be part of that. Nice crowd of Rapids people here. And part of it is because, oh, here we go. Damian's got special in trouble. And we got a minute 20 left, so I think if he settles in here, we got near fall points coming. I'm not so sure we're going to get a pin out of this. But the referee has a lot better view of it than we do. This got a little tight. So a pin by Damian Bennett at 5:50 or 51 seconds, the third period, knots the dual meet score back up at 18. And now the Raiders should be able to roll here. I think we're pretty strong in these middleweights. And we're going to get a forfeit here, 113, and that's not this grandpa's wish because this is my grandson out here, and he's starting to get pretty good. So we're going to get a forfeit here, 113. My partner here said I could go take him on. I'll tell you, he's about the last of the grandsons I want to mess with because I'm so much bigger. But I've got 2 of them wrestling in college right now, and they're out of my league. So we're up at 120. Tanner Deppies is a 9th grader from Merrill, and Alistair Greening is a junior, but a real green junior. He hasn't wrestled very much. Last year was his first year, and he's had a lot of improvement since then. Real strong, works real hard, and nice. Countered that, got stretched out, went into a near side cradle. He's trying to get his head in the hole. That was just a mistake. He Again, that's all learning stuff. He put himself on his back almost, but, he came out of there. He didn't stay down there, so that's a plus. Match has kind of slowed down here a little bit. Deppie's got in a real nice fireman's, and he actually put Greening to his back off of it, but we got turned down. So Merrill leads 2-0 with a nice fireman's carry here. And we got 15 seconds left. Uh-oh, we got caught in a guillotine. You know what? I bet you Alistair's never seen a guillotine before. Come on, fight this off, buddy. 5 seconds. Oh, we're in trouble. Oh, we made it. So again, we got caught in something that I'm sure that Alistair hasn't seen. It's an old-time guillotine, but he's down 5-0. So now we got to stay pretty aggressive here. And you don't have to try and get it back all at one time, but you got to pick away. You got to get the points. Uh-oh. This kid is what we call a chest crusher. And I don't know if we're going to be able to hold this guy or not. We're in trouble here again. Nothing. Now that took some grit. We were in big trouble. You can't get that arm trapped in here. Alistair's back in on his near side cradle again off that front headlock. But he's got to come around the corner. He's got to finish it here. 55 seconds left. We're in good shape here now. And he's pretty tough with his cradle. .45 seconds. Greening brought the score back to 5-2. Thought he's going to get some back points there. Come on, get out here. Get out to the side, buddy. We're getting side rolled. We're not getting off to the side here enough. And 5 seconds. Well, that was a fast turnaround here, Craig. Deppie was trying to get into like a Granby, a kind of a roll. And what I said before about some of these inexperienced kids, you have to be in trouble once in a while and learn where not to be. And he stepped over there and threw a tight half Nelson on and got a pin. So that was huge. That was a big win for the Raiders. So the Raiders are now up 30-18 with that pin of Alistair Greening. So Now, I think they had a change in their lineup here, the way it looks. I got them from Joyce. I think this guy's name is Jacob Walden. But we have Ryan Searing. He's a freshman who's having a nice year. He's got a nice head outside he uses here, really good. So Searing is up 2-1, and he's in on a good single leg here. Yeah, Merrill. I think Craig is pointing out. I think this is Alex Gerke, at least. Nice fireman's carry here. Horsed it through a little bit by Searing. Trying to counter a switch here. Yeah, that a boy. Good counter, and we evidently gave up an escape there. 4-2, Searing. So for you folks just tuning in, score is 30-18, Lincoln, and we're up 4-2 in this 126-pound match with Ryan Searing and Alex Gerke, a sophomore from Merrill. Yeah, maybe, huh? Yeah, I got a little blood time down here. I think it's on Searing. Yeah, it is a nice crowd. Well, you know, having kids night, we get a lot of those young kids' parents, and that's really what we're trying to promote. It's kind of a tougher match than I thought it was going to be here. This Merrill kid is a comer. He keeps fighting. He's trying to come to his feet here all the time. And so 4-3 now, Searing. The match score is closed up. Oh, he penetrates really nice. He's not really turning the corner, and I'm talking like a coach here now, but you got to get that angle, and that's better. That's better. Searing got in pretty deep, switched off to a double, and now he should be looking for back points here. And he's got a couple. That was a nice takedown. Takedown to the back, and I've always kind of believed that the best place to score back points is right off your feet. Wow. Searing got a 3-point near fall, but in the process, just got hit in the nose. So then they stopped it for blood time with 5.3 seconds left here in this second period. So again, if you're just tuning in here, Rapids and Merrill in a dual meet at the field house. The Raiders are up 30-18, 126-pound match. The draw weight was 170, so we're about 2/3 through this thing. And Ryan Searing is up 9-3 in this match here. Craig Tim, my partner here, is running the camera, eating popcorn and eating supper. Yeah. Just have a hard time getting this nosebleed stopped. The rule on that is you got 5 minutes cumulative to get that stopped, but that doesn't include cleanup. So when the referee thinks that the nosebleed is stopped, if this was really critical, then you would go out there and do the cleanup. Carl DeLuca, one of the assistant coaches, already done the cleanup, and that's just being a good guy. But we wouldn't do this if this was a really big tight match. Carl's got his rubber gloves on. That's an interesting story here because Carl DeLuca wrestled for us, and he was one of my favorites for his tenure here. Went over and wrestled at Oshkosh, and then did his postgraduate work at the University of Wisconsin. And he's actually got his PhD already. He's a doctor of physical therapy, and he's one of the few guys that we're able to bring back to town here. One of the hard parts about our economy lately is that when kids go off to college, we don't always get them back here. And Carl is one of them that we got back, so we're pretty happy with that. Oh, now the Merrill boy had blood on him, and it's like almost overkill already. There can't be blood anywhere. It has to be cleaned up. It's not like MMA. They just bleed all over, I guess, huh, Craig? So you probably heard that. Searing is up 9-3, and he's pretty tough coming off to the bottom. Get some hand control here, Ryan. can't get that nosebleed stopped, and so now they're going to have to get a little bit serious about that. Plug that up. Well, maybe it's the Merrill guy now. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the season's went by pretty fast. The valley isn't like the old valley. We don't have 9 schools in it anymore. So we're down to one more dual meet. That's with DC Everest next week, and it's went pretty fast. We've been in some tournaments, not big name tournaments. We kind of lightened up the schedule just a little bit with young team, trying to build a little confidence and success. So our days of going over to the Clash or the Cheesehead were days of the past. Hopefully in the future we're going to be able to do some of that, but not this year. So we're going to a tournament in a town I never heard of before. I heard Laconia. Is it? Craig says it's over by Fond du Lac, so it'll be a smaller school tournament, and it's kind of what we need right now. So, Shane come to his feet real good. Ran right out of bounds. Use those hands. Come on. Got to finish that though, Ryan. He was in good shape there off that switch. He lifts really well when he gets in here. So he must have more blood. He got a reversal. Came to his feet. Oh, now he hurt his foot here. Yeah, that'd be my guess. Hopefully that's all it is, huh? We had quite an escapade here when we wrestled Marshfield. He got hurt, and there were some people on the other side that were yelling some unsportsmanlike things, and I know my wife wasn't very happy about it, but wrestling is a tough sport. Sometimes you just got to grit things out. Brock, my grandson, was in the university duels 2 weeks ago, pinned a guy from Notre Dame, and in the process got hit in the head and got a concussion. And nowadays the concussion protocol means you don't do anything for a while. So he's been sitting out. He's wrestling tomorrow night finally against Mankato, I think it is. But head injuries are concerned with everything and everybody right now. It started out with football, but all sports were pretty concerned about it. So I'm not sure what we're doing here. If this is an injury, the injury clock is running, and you got to make a decision here. So again, we don't have a clock up here, so I don't know, but he's used up quite a bit of injury time already. Injury time is different than blood time, too. Injury time, you have a minute and a half. So what Ryan should be doing now is keeping him on the mat. You want to stay off your feet. If you got a leg problem, let's wrestle on the mat. That's better. That's a little better. Atta boy. 45 seconds left here, and Searing has Garrick on his back in trouble. The goal here obviously would be to get a fall. He's got this on here pretty tight. He's got the chin too. He's in there pretty tight. This is, oh, wow. I thought that was going to be it, but it wasn't going to be it. So you heard Scott Tesh. It was 14-3, which is a major decision. And the Raiders are going to go up 34-18. And with a 132-pound match coming up with Zach Hamill. And now there was a switch. And maybe this is where I was getting goofed up before. It was supposed to be Brody Gorky. I think it's Jacob. I can't read my wife's writing. We're going to listen. So it's Jacob Waller, who is a, looks like a 10th grader, and Zach Hamill, who is also a 10th grader. And Zach is starting to wrestle pretty good. Getting better all the time. That was a 2-point takedown. He did a nice job of dragging his feet there. Put him back on his feet, and we'll wrestle from that neutral position again. This could be a lopsided match here. Nice setup, nice takedown. Or kind of went in for like fireman's underarm, Kelly, whatever, underneath, and Zach stopped him, caught him on his hip, and took him right over to his back. 8-3, Hamill. Nice job. It was awarded a nice roll, and Hamill kind of rolled through with it and still has control. Waller with a roller. Attaboy, nice. Hamill's wrestling really well. (10-3) Hamill. Nice go behind, and he stayed down low on him enough and drug his feet and got the takedown. So Hamill is up 12-4. Wrestling kind of like a takedown clinic here. "25 seconds left in this second period." It says second period, I think it is, but I'm just looking at the scoreboard. And this is over. Nice match. Zach Hamill at 132, and it kind of stretches the Raiders' lead out here. "138 pounds, Weiler Lubeck." And now he's going to wrestle a guy that moved up from 132. This should be Brody Gerke, who is a senior. Lubeck is a sophomore. Nice snap down, go behind. That's kind of his thing. He's pretty good on his feet. Pretty fluid. And he made it to the state tournament last year as a freshman. Matter of fact, he was our only entrant in the state tournament. So. I'm not sure if this is Gerke or whatever. I know what Scott Tesh is saying, but my wife gave me these names here, and I kind of trust her pretty good with the weigh-in sheets. Huh. So who's got the nosebleed here now? Yeah, I think you're right. It's winter and dry conditions, and then you get popped in the nose a couple times. They probably bleed easy. I don't know if you can tell or not, Craig. I mean, from my standpoint, these guys improved quite a bit since December.
More aggressive.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice. We had youth wrestling here. We were middle school wrestling, and a lot of coaches, a lot of young volunteer dads that are coaching. Had the pep band here. Got Craig Tim here, eating popcorn, drinking Mountain Dew. It's it don't get much better than that.
Exactly right. Hall of Fame coach on the mic.
There we go. Yep.
Big picture as you come into the field.
Yeah.
Been up there twice, actually.
Well, I appreciate your noticing. That's a nice takedown. 6'2". And he's looking for back points here. Ooh. Good athlete. He was in a little bit of trouble and he recovered really well. Gerke got escaped, so the score is now 6-3. Actually, this is a bit of a fight for Ryan here, or for Weiler. It's kind of cool here, too, because we do the public access broadcasting here. Scott Tesh, myself, Craig Tim. But now Merrill, Dom, one of the former coaches, is over here doing the radio for Merrill. And we missed those days of Terry Stake doing the radio. And I think he's still going to do the state tournament. I thought that's what my wife had said. But he used to cover all the dual meets, and he was the voice of Rapids Wrestling. And I missed those days. It was good to see Merrill doing it with live broadcast. I'm not sure what doing radio was like. I used to kid Terry. He could say anything he wanted because nobody was seeing what he was saying anyway. We got 1 minute left here in the second period. Nice seeing a lot of these young kids in here. It's good to see you again. So for you wrestling purists, that was a switch and a re-switch and a switch and a re-switch. It all went on there, and two pretty good wrestlers here. Skirky is making a match for Weiler Lubeck. And you know, we need that too. When you get pretty good, I was telling one of the middle school kids that's had a lot of success the other night that he had won a 9-8 match and he wasn't very happy. And I said, you know, you need those matches. If you ever want to get on the podium, it isn't going to happen by getting 1 minute pins against inferior competition. You need to get pushed, and I guess that's so in all sports. You see that in the National Football League playoffs right now, you know. I'm not going to say anything about the Vikings. So here we go. We got not enough time. We got a second left here. Lubeck is going down. He's taking an 8-4 lead here. Nice. Classic stand-up. And then got the one and come right back in for a takedown. And that's exactly how you teach it. That was a lot of points in a little bundle there. And that, you know, we always talked about how you break your opponent mentally, physically. That'll do it right there. That's how you break people. Yeah. He's pretty smooth. Didn't get the 2 yet. He does now. So the scoreboard goes up to 13-5 with a minute left. Merrill crowd is getting pretty quiet. Yeah, we got called for stalling, and that's one of the things in the sport that you know. What refs are told to look for is that when you're on top, you have to be looking for a fall. To get a fall, you have to gamble a little bit. That means you get off to the side. You can't ride parallel because you will get called for stalling. And that's kind of what Lubeck was called for there. It's kind of interesting getting called for stalling when you scored 6 takedowns. And he scored another one. 15-6. Nice match, real sound match. And I think Gerke is pretty decent. I think that was a good match for us. So 145. Merrill has Casey Huffman. He's a sophomore. And the Raiders are going to use Hunter Knutson. And Hunter's there will be a lot of scoring in this match. And it won't all be for us, but Hunter is he's not real strong on his feet. He ends up here a lot. He's not a very conventional wrestler, but he does go hard the whole time. Huffman has got an easy takedown, and now he's looking for back points. I wish I could tell you some of the moves that Hunter uses, but I really don't think I have names for him. He got caught in a tilt roll through here. Did he get back points? He did. Oh, now he got stacked up. So Hunter Knutson is down 4-0. He got caught in a tilt again, this roll through. And 2 back points again. Now you never know about Hunter. He does some unusual things. He got a reversal and almost got back points here. So he got the score. He got on the scoreboard. So now the score is 6-2. He got to go down. He's a little bit dangerous from down here. He does some pretty unorthodox things. And that's how he got his last 2 points here. He reached back here. He's kind of got himself in trouble here. And pinned. So Casey Huffman at 145 pins Hunter Knutson. And that brings the score to 44-24 Rapids. And we've got 2 seniors, 2 of our best right here. Berg Diebel and Cody Sawyer. And this is kind of the heart and soul of our team here. We're pretty stout through the middle. And this is one of our better ones, Berg Diebel. And he's going up against Carter Beyer, a sophomore. And we're debating on Berg if he's going down to 45 or not. Trying to find a route for him down to the state tournament. Nice shot by Berg, and he came out the back door with a lift. Berg uses his legs pretty well. Power halves pretty well. Russell's kind of loose. One of our concerns is that when you get into real good competition, you got to be really stingy with your points. Beyer's a pretty good wrestler. He's battling Berg here pretty well. And he stepped over, threw the legs in, got the takedown, but no back points. I think he was going to get back points. So Diebel's in the top position here with a 4-1 lead at the start of the second period. £152 match, or one match left, or this one. Gudrawa was on 70. So we got Diebel and Sawyer, and the Raiders are leading 44-24. And kind of got the dual meet sewed up. Beyer's pretty tough. Takedown for Diebel, and he's going to cut him loose with 55 seconds left and a 6-3 lead. Now we got to get Beyer out of the mat here. Beyer's made a match out of this. This is 8-3, and Diebel has kind of had his own way with it, but it hasn't been easy. Now, tough switch. Nice switch. Got a hard start off the whistle. Now he's got a pretty tough half in here. This is going to be pretty tough. But don't lose this now. Don't lose this. Bayer's battling him pretty hard here, Craig. Bergdable's pretty hard, pretty tough wrestler. We hunting back points here. Nice takedown. 12-4. He gets that half in there pretty deep, but Bayer fights that right off. He turns his head away. Merrill's a pretty well coached team. A little undermanned in some of these weights. And so how do you get called for stalling underneath? Well, if you're not really coming up to your base, and that's a hard call because sometimes the guy's just overpowered and he can't. If he's laying there, then that's a referee's decision, I guess. I'm not so sure with the score 13-4. There was much more that Bayer was going to do, but we'll take the call. 13 seconds. 13-4 is the score. And the dual meet score is 44-24. And he might have just pinned him. Not quite. Wow. Diebel got 13 more points, or 3 more points. Wow. I thought there was a fall there, Craig. So that upped the score 48-24. And this is the last match of the evening here. And actually, this is our lone undefeated wrestler. This is Cody Sawyer, who I would say is the most improved wrestler on our team. And he's going against Wyatt Kohler, a junior. Know nothing about it. We don't have the records in the programs. Cody's a big 160-pounder, real strong. And like I say, my vote would be he's been a little better than average the last couple of years. This year, he's at a whole new level. Takedown, Sawyer. A tough armbar by Cody Sawyer, and he took Kohler to the mat and pinned him right off of that armbar. Tight armbar. So Cody Sawyer remains undefeated, the 24-0 record. And the team score here has popped up to 54-24. So it was a good outing for us. We're wrapped up the home dual meet season here at home and getting better. And we're going to sign off here and try and get Scott Bennett up here to talk about the meet a little bit. Thanks. The field house after the Rapids Merrill dual meet, 54-24 Lincoln, and it was a nice meet. We got Scott Bennett up here to talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, hey, thanks Lou for doing that. Yeah, it was a good duel. I thought we won the matches that we probably on paper should have won, and picked up pinpoints probably where we should have. So kind of probably, as if you ever scripted a dual meet, that's probably how it would have gone. So
was the matchup better for Lane at 220?
Yeah, well, that was actually their 95 at 80. They flipped their guys around. The guy that Roger will wrestle at conference is the guy they moved up to 95. And the guy that they had on lane then was a kid that was a freshman or a sophomore. Okay. So it just worked out better. We had planned on wrestling Bathke the whole time up at 220. And we just planned on wrestling Roger up at 195 tonight.
Okay.
So.
And it just wasn't a wise choice to use a heavyweight, right?
Not against the number 4th ranked guy in the state. So we last thing we'd want to do is get a kid just giving it a shot and then lose in front of a whole bunch of people here. And so we just chose not to. So didn't need him for the dual meet. He'll wrestle next week against DC Everest, and he'll wrestle tomorrow night in the 2 duels tomorrow, but not tonight.
So how does it look for tomorrow night at Edgar?
Edgar and Crandon are the 2 duels. They both have a few good guys in their lineups. Crandon's got one guy with
thanks, Peter.
You got one guy with one loss at 170 and one loss guy at 182 as well.
Oh.
And then they got a guy that's got 4 losses at 26, so they have a few good guys. Edgar has a kid with 4 losses at 195. They got a kid with 1 loss at 182, and they got another kid down lower that's pretty decent. So they both have some decent guys. I don't think they have much balance, so I think dual meet wise will be okay, but we won't win all the matches. We'll lose some matches tomorrow and probably sprinkle a couple new guys into the lineup. Probably gonna try somebody at 145. We've been having some matches in practice, and we'll probably make a change tomorrow night when it doesn't. It's not a valley duel and it's not here in front of the home crowd. So
I think we've improved a lot since December. What's DC Everest look like?
DC Everest is either the 2nd or 3rd best team in the conference, us being the other ones. So we'll find out next week. They're young. They've got not very good at the upper weights, which kind of is how we are in a way. We've got a Mike now at heavyweight. He's going to have to wrestle for us next week. At 220, we're either going to have to move up or forfeit that one to him. So we're probably going to have to move up and figure out where we can do that. But they are pretty darn good right through the middle weights. They don't have a 6-pounder. They typically don't have a 13. So we're going to get 12 there. But from about 20 up to about 70, they're pretty good.
And I see they got a trotcher that's pretty good at 60 for Cody, huh?
Yep, he's pretty good, but they're pretty good at a bunch of weights through there. Their best guy's at 32.
Right,
Severson,
yep.
And they're pretty solid all the way through. They just have the holes down low, but other than that, they're pretty solid. We're gonna have to wrestle really, really well to beat them.
Oh, good. We wrestled really well tonight, I thought.
Yeah, we're getting better. So hopefully we continue to get better, but Merrill's a little bit down. Their kids fought hard. We had a lot of blood on the mat tonight, so the meet took a long time anyway. But our kids, I thought, wrestled pretty hard tonight.
It was a good meet. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We got the new year started off well, and we'll look forward to the tournaments.
All right. Thank you.